Hello, my friends. Here, Danny Nedelko. Hello again. After just a few days of not seeing each and every one of you here with this topic, I really love to talk about business. And maybe you're watching me on Instagram or you are on Facebook. Maybe you are on YouTube. And I want to talk about from stress to freedom. Because I have been in a situation before. Maybe you're there. Maybe type here in the chat number one where you're. I mean, number one if you're watching live, and where's that you're watching us from. I would really love to say hello to you. Hello, all of my friends in Europe. And I think that uh, type here also from which country you're connecting. Hey, to all of my Balkan friends, all of my beautiful friends here in the United States as well. I will be also connecting in Spanish in just a few minutes. But today, I am going to tell you one thing. There are many things that we can learn from each other. And today, I really want to tell you how I went from stress to freedom. And many of you know me from social media, from different companies where I have been working in network marketing. Some of them have been a corporate officer, and now I own a business which we do have a food supplement company, and we are very blessed to have many people around the world working with us. And as you're joining, let me know here in the comments, either on Instagram, Facebook, or even YouTube or X, where is that you're connecting. And we're going to talk about this topic, which is from stress to freedom. And thank you so much. So as you are joining me, let me know if you've ever been in that situation where you have been stressed, where you have been going from day to day to where you don't know where things are going to be happening tomorrow. Maybe you have been working for somebody, you might be having your own business, and or you're an entrepreneur, you are somebody that has a home-based business or whatever that might be. We have all faced one thing, which is stress. Yes, we have all faced that thing that is not so pleasant to have in our lives, which is financial stress. And today I want to tell you that there is freedom on the other side. There is one thing that is called mastering the cash flow quadrant, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So my name, as you know, is Danny Nedelko. I am originally from Mexico in the United States. I live in Nashville, Tennessee, and today I really want to really explain you how things changed for me in the past. And I'm gonna tell you one thing: we all will face. All of us will face, disappointments. We all will face, some financial challenges, not just because you have everything together right now in your life. It means that tomorrow, or it means that in the next 3 or 4 months, everything is going to be okay. Maybe it will, and I'm not wishing you anything else but good things. But today I want to explain you how I went from being completely stressed to financial freedom. And one of those things is, this thing called the cash flow quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. And I see many of my Balkan friends here on Instagram. Hello to my Balkan friends. Do Laku Noć or whatever, I know that I speak a little bit Slovenian, and I understand a lot of Serbian, Serbo-Croatian, but dobro. And thank you for being here. So anyways, there are 4 ways to make money. And all of us, even if you're working for somebody, if you're working for a corporation, if you are having your own business, if you are, I don't know, you're a consultant, maybe you do gig work, maybe have a combination of having your own business and you work for somebody else, or maybe you're a big business owner and an investor. There are many ways that you can actually take this stress and de-stress when you understand that there are 4 ways to make money, and then use these to your advantage. So the very first way to make money, and all of us know this, most of us, we exchange our knowledge, our time for money. And one of those things that I always learn is that I only have 24 hours. I don't know how many hours do you have. Type here in the chat if you have more hours than me. I'm sure that you won't. Hi, Scott. How are you, my friend? I see that you're doing amazing in California. You have been overcoming some illnesses. We're very proud of you. You're just an amazing entrepreneur, a great friend of mine. And I say hello and I hope to see you again. So, anyways, going back to the topic, um, that's the very first step. That's where we can actually say, you know what, I'm just making money. I remember when I was a teenager, when I was trying to make things for myself. I started in different ways. I started, a car wash. Yes, I was 14 and I was like, hey, I'm gonna go and wash cars and I'm gonna make my first money. Then I started dog sitting, and then I started doing different things, and then I was thinking, how can I have my own business? And I started a candy shop at school. I mean, there, you name it. So since I was very little, I knew that I did not want to be exchanging my time for money. And I saw this every single time that I went to my dad's shop because he had a business. So I saw, and he explained me, look, if you want to be free, and for my friends in Spanish, vamos a tener un Facebook Live en español en unos 5 o 10 minutos después de acabar este Facebook Live. But I saw how these people work, and I was very, very thankful for them. But there was one thing that my dad explained me. If you work for somebody else, you will work to build their dreams and not yours. And I know that not everybody is called to be an entrepreneur. Don't get me wrong. I have a lot of friends who are, working for somebody else, and that's where they find joy. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. There are 4 ways to make money, and that's the topic of these Facebook Live, and how to go from being stressed to have freedom. So, number one, you work for somebody else. You exchange time for money. Number two, you work for yourself. You're self-employed, and you exchange still time for money. And number three, you are, a business owner and you have systems and people working for you. And, then that's how you exchange your knowledge and your systems for money. And then number four is you are an investor. Yes. And you're going to be like, well, Danny, that's so far out there. I am starting, in my career, and I don't even imagine me being an investor. You don't have to have thousands of dollars to be able to be an investor. And also, you don't have to have a lot of connections and things to have a business. But I'm going to tell you one thing. If you keep on doing the same things over and over and over, that's the definition of insanity. Whether you are a business owner or not, I'm going to give you a piece of advice today. So maybe you are trying to have all of the things that you need for your family and for your loved ones, in a position where you can say, hey, I'm going to go shopping. I'm going to, cover all of my bills. For those of us who are believers, I'm going to give to the Lord. I'm going to give to the work. I'm going to give to my community, and I'm going to live okay. Unfortunately, that's not how it is many of the times. That's not how life plays, regardless of what we are trying to do, because there are sicknesses, there are things that can happen to us, there are, unfortunate events, there are accidents, there are many, many things. But if you're protected with, not just only one source of income, whether you are an employee or you have your own business, you work for yourself, you have consulting, you are a dentist, you are a lawyer, or a doctor, instead of exchanging your time for money, because unfortunately, those individuals who are professionals, who are musicians, or who are dentists and doctors, you are limited with your time, and you need to scale in order for you to actually make money in a consistent basis every single day, while you're sleeping, while you're eating, while maybe you're sick, maybe you're visiting family, maybe during the weekend. You need to have a system for you to be able to de-stress and have, money coming to you in a way that is financially stable, so that you can do other things. Now, if you're in that spot, the recommendation I have, because I was there, I was an employee for somebody else. I lost my job. Unfortunately, I went into this thing called in the United States welfare, which is not fun. And thank God I have not been there in a long, long time. But I'm gonna tell you one thing: it is okay to ask for help. It is okay to ask for different things you can do online. There are many ways, I can help you as well. And if you are a professional, you're a doctor, maybe you are a lawyer, I see how many talented professionals have such limited time because they don't have systems. I'm going to encourage you to go and look for a system. Go and look for something where you can scale. Maybe you are, I don't know, a massage therapist, you are, an entrepreneur that is into the healthcare, industry. There are ways for you to scale. Even if you're a lawyer or even if you are a musician, you don't have to exchange your time for money. You need to go and find yourself a way that you can actually position yourself in a situation where you don't have to exchange your knowledge, your art, your hours for money. Yes, you can still be the force that is behind your business, but you need to actually have a system. And now, for those of us who are business owners, this is really, really great. This is the third way of actually, making things happen. And, you are not really a business owner until you have somebody that is taking care of every single part. And unfortunately, yes, most of us think, hey, I own my business, but you know what? I have to open the business. I have to close it. I have to get to the office. I have to do the billing. I have to do the marketing. Then you don't have a business. You have a job. You have your own job that you control, which is okay. But you know what? Sometimes is even worse. That you are doing all these things because you don't have any rest. But how can you solve the situation in this, in this example? Same thing as I was telling the people that have, a self-employment or that are professionals. You need to have systems. You need to have a system built around you so you don't have to do every single thing in your business. Yes, and let me know if you're in type number one, if you're watching live, and type number two, if you're watching on a replay. I'll be very happy to connect with you. I give, advice from business, personal development, and whatever else that you see here on my page. I'm very passionate about home-based business. As you know, I'm an owner of a network marketing business. It's an exciting thing, but also it has a lot of challenges, as you can know. We literally have no time, but we are very, very happy to have many people around the world. So going back to this topic, as a business owner, you need to build a system. You need to build a not only a system, but you need to build a way for you not to do everything. Because once you have the freedom to say, hey, today I have everything handled, because the people working for me will be taking care of everything. And there's a side model to this. You can still be an employee. You can still have, I don't know, maybe you are a doctor or professional. You can still have your profession. You can still be an artist. You can still, I don't know, do your own things, but have this little business on a side. And this is one of the things that not only Robert Kiyosaki, but also Bob Proctor, Tony Robbins, and many other mentors around the world will advise you, that you need to, even when you're starting, maybe you're a student, you need to really think far ahead. You don't need to be thinking in the today, just how am I going to solve my bills? Yes, but what if you start with your mindset in the future? What are you going to be doing? And one of the things that you can do for yourself and your family, and I'm going to leave you with this, is to start thinking in how you can implement different systems so you can have freedom and scale to be a business owner. And while you're still an employee, while you're still a self-employed person, you can still have a micro business on a side. And that's what I do all day long. We help people have their own business without leaving what they have, in order for them to build a solid business or a system. That's what we do. So if you are in need of some advice, I'm here. Just go ahead and reach out so we can talk about it. And the last part, this is the key for you to be having peace. And I know that money is not everything. There are many scriptures that talk about the love of money is the root of all evil. I understand that, but when you don't have your financial needs met, it's very hard for you to give to other people. So that's why it's so important that you have everything in this sense, under your hands, that you, because we will never have full control of our lives. There's only one that has full control of everything, which is our Father above. But you need to be able to be smart and say, hey, I have this, I have built this system, I have built this business, and I'm giving. But not only that, you can use what you have to invest, because there's the fourth thing that you can do for yourself and your family that's going to set you for life. And I have many, many friends who are investors, and that is putting your money to work for you. And this is the most powerful thing that you can do, because money is like seeds, it grows more money. Yes, you might be thinking about how can I grow more money? I only have like a couple of $1,000. Yes, you can still find options in the marketplace right now in the US or wherever you are, where you can actually put your money to work. And I'm not here to be a financial advisor, because I am not one, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. These are the four ways of you to ease out your stress, because you can be blaming everybody for your misfortune. But I'm going to tell you one thing, you have no excuse right now. Because if you use your knowledge, if you use your time, at the beginning, you go and exchange time for money at a job or at a gig or whatever. But whenever you say, hey, you know what, I have this knowledge, but I also want to have a business, and you scale it, then things start changing. But then when you step into the fourth way of making money, which is that money that is left there, that is extra for you, and start investing it, that's when really, really life takes off. And if you have not seen that part, I would love to show you. There are many, many friends that I can connect you with. There are real estate people. There are people that I know that do, the financial investing, for a living. I can connect you with many people. My point here is not for you to buy anything from me. Nope. I have a passion to educate people, because I was in a position where I told you I lost my job. I didn't know what I was going to do, and I was living off of welfare. But somebody told me about a business model that I could do from my home, just using my phone and not even putting a dime on it. And you know what? That changed my life almost 10 years ago. Yeah, a little bit over 10 years ago. And it has never been the same. Yes, life has been up and down for my life, but I'm going to tell you one thing. With those four principles that I apply for myself and my family, I have been able to, every time that a bump comes over, and then I just, we have hiccups in life, we have financial disappointments and things. When you apply these four things, you are on the right path. So I'm going to leave you with this. Thank you so much for being here. And, if you need some advice, you need some help, I'm